Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is our weekly chess show on Pod TV. My name is Sasha Starr. I would like to introduce my esteemed guest for today. It's a brilliant duo of Grandmaster Mikhail Marin and his beautiful and talented, or should I say, multi talented wife, Maria. Welcome to the show. I'm glad to see you there.
Hello,
Hello.
Sasha. Hello, everybody, and thank you for the nice introduction.
I will do even better next week. Maria, do you have anything that you would like to share with us? Some of your beautiful works.
Of course, as I promise, I bring for you especially the knight. Okay, the horse, actually, but the position from candidate tournament,
Oh my
uh,
God!
which is
That's from Caruana Nakamura, the first round.
I see. Oh, okay. Wow, this
and
is brilliant painting.
yes, it's not the last move, but you know,
The last but one move, I think, no? The penultimate move. I think is,
I
yeah.
think so.
He gave one more,
Knight
he gets king.
H6.
Yes, king
Knight
G7, queen
H6.
G4, yes.
I think you have to do a lot of prints of that, and Caruana will be number one taker of this of this prints. Probably FIDE will order quite a few for different tournaments, Olympiads, and so on. But however, now let's concentrate on candidates tournament, which today we witnessed the last round of the first round. What's the right way to do it? It's today was the last round of the first round. Is that correct way to say? The last round, first
Yeah, well,
round.
in Russian it's simpler, yes. It's Tur I Krug.
But
But
in Russian, yes. But in
yes,
English, somehow you have to say, okay, last game of the first round. Okay, maybe that's the way to do it.
yes, maybe.
Okay, so Caruana was just ending his game. He beat Rajabov. Rajabov played inferior opening, which could be played, but not in my opinion, candidates tournament. But yeah, anyway, he did. He was fighting really well in inferior positions. He carried it until the very last chance. In the position where he had resigned, it was really all over. Of course, he couldn't continue the play, but he was defending and he tried his best. Now. So the question of our program for today was: is Nepomniachtchi going to carry on and take first prize as usual, and he will repeat the achievements of Smyslov, Spassky, Korchnoi, and I figured out that Karpov too, because he was several times a candidate and played several matches against Kasparov. But that's Karpov. I wouldn't put right in that group, but he could be there as well. Anyway, it's a very distinguished company, so Nepo will be joining this company. Mikhail, do you think is anything there to stop him?
No, of course, it's only the tournament is only halfway, and we know already that. Okay, you who said that? You mentioned this comment last week, Barev, or who was that who said that Nepo will be doing fine until he loses a game, and because it would be better for him to play 7 rounds now and 7 rounds after 1 year.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I mean, okay, of course, it is partly a joke, but it depends on how he deals with the stress. Because if he loses a game, for instance against Caruana, then we saw what happened with him in the match with Carlsen. I mean, so it depends on how he manages, how he deals with his nerves. But what I noticed, I mean, okay, I don't want to talk about him. I want actually to say what I noticed positive about him. I mean, okay, last time, of course, it was this strange tournament split into two parts. And then he was kind of lucky in the second part. This young Russian guy lost too easily, and the Chinese guy resigned because he was tired, and so on. But now that he knows the way to becoming a pretender, he knows how it feels to become a challenger. Now he seems to be in his element. I mean, he has some ease in his play. It seems that he knows. And actually, I noticed that along many years ago against with Korchnoi. I mean, he once played this final with Karpov, which was actually not the candidates final, but a world title match because Fischer didn't play, and then he qualified again. And even when he was 49, with more difficulties, but he still managed to qualify for the third time. So she knew somehow the path. I mean, it's psychologically it's important. So Nepo, from this point of view, he's in a very good situation, of course. He was fortunate in a few games, but I mean, he was there. I mean, when the moment came, he was there, and he used it, which is very important. I mean, so for instance, you would expect Firouzja, who is the youngest, he's the youngest, I believe, no, to take all the chances given to him. But actually, Firouzja, actually, I said in the previous show that you asked whether there is any outsider in the tournament, and I said if there is an outsider, then this is probably Firouzja, and he was on 50% in that moment. But it was clear that he was just surviving somehow by youth, by energy, but he was somehow not prepared to play with all these guys. So it actually happened. So now he's on -2 or -3.
Well, now I think Rajabov joined him in the last.
Yeah, but you cannot call. Yeah, you cannot call Rajabov an outsider. He won the World Cup once. So I mean, he's one of the guys for. But he played less chess over the past year, so it's not clear.
But Mikhail, don't you feel some kind of mismatch when there's two players, Nepo and Caruana, who are so far exceeding level of all other candidates? Besides, only two of them and Nakamura won any games whatsoever. The 5 candidates have no single winning game.
Mm-hmm.
This is pathetic. It's never happened before.
Yeah, well, even from the first round, I had some mixed feelings. First of all, I was happy that the games were interesting. But then I have the feeling that this is not a proper candidates tournament. I mean, too many moments of weakness from the players. I mean, things that on average a normal grandmaster as me would notice that you don't do that or you should do that. Or Caruana, what he's very strong at, apart from opening preparation, that's something different. But he's working a lot. He's calculating. He's very disciplined. He has somehow this power of not playing really bad moves. So of course, if the opponents give him some chances, I mean, with these mistakes which pop up quite frequently, of course, Caruana is the guy to grab the moment. Nepo, he's a different kind of player. He has some sort of talent of. I wrote about that. Actually, we talked about this before the match with Carlsen, I believe. He has some sort of talent of maintaining the tension. I mean, the position, let's say it's equal. And the NG says 0-0-0 here, 0-0-0 here. But he finds the 0-0-0 move, which somehow, or not move, sequence of 2-3 moves, which somehow require from the opponent to find the only really good answer to maintain the equality. And again, he has this talent. I don't think he can explain how he does this, but he has this talent, and of course, I mean, at the level they play in this candidates tournament, of course, he's a very dangerous opponent, and there's no wonder that he has +4.
Mikhail, I haven't analyzed move by move and games of Nepo. And probably next Saturday we will have Professor Regan, who has unique ability to analyze the game move by move. Comparatively, I would say that Caruana, you have a different level of games. Let's see, he's in his top form, he's playing on that level, and his lowest form, his level is still pretty high. So there is no really much difference. His level is quite consistent.
No, the match with Carlsen is the best example. 12 draws.
Okay, here we go. Now, in this tournament, so far he's very close to his top level. On
Yes.
even if some games that he doesn't win, he still demonstrates fairly high level. Now, what I'd like to say is, I will look at all 4 games that Nepo won. His opponents were playing on extremely low level. There is no desire to fight. They were inferior, not only moves, but even the game plan. Like Jinlian, who took to e3, he took this pawn d, which
No. But that was still okay taking with the D pawn. But
it was
Kramnik,
okay, but it was slowly his position from that point on. It started to
no,
deteriorate.
he started playing badly from that moment. But actually, it's strange that he didn't take the pawn on E4. I mean, just to take a pawn with no compensation for black.
Now his move h4
Yes.
is on
Why,
the
why,
level of a candidate
yeah.
master.
Why not take the pawn on E4? That's the question.
Absolutely, that's a point.
He
At
had
least
two, he had two moments when he could do that.
yeah. So, but even if you take his today's game, but the dude playing with white pieces, completely lifeless game, completely.
No. But Duda, okay, Duda again. The game of Duda, okay, without criticizing him, because actually I said in the last show that I like about Duda that he's the player who plays. I cannot really say how he does, what his style, but he just plays all kind of positions. But okay, imagine an old master. I mean, I don't say Karpov, let's say Holmov. Imagine having that position with good knight against a bad bishop. I mean, really, do you really go to die force? I mean, from the middle game. Come on, the position should be winning. I mean, uh, I mean, you have to, he never came close to to put black under in danger. So yeah, I mean that's if you cannot win such a position, I mean, okay, when do you get such an advantage at the candidates? I mean, how many times can you get such a position? So no, the game was not boring. It was simply that he didn't find any way of using his knight against the bad bishop. That was the point. I mean, it could have been a technical game, but it was boring because he didn't find anything concrete. That
Well, it will be very interesting to see the second round because so far I'm not thrilled with this first round at all. Not with the level of play, not with results, nothing at all. I feel it's a very dubious tournament so far, but we'll see second round what's happening.
we think it's strange because okay, when he was young, he was a brilliant tactician, and then okay, he started playing very interesting. I mean, the English opening, he started. He won many games with the English opening, dynamic ideas and so on. But maybe he's a bit saturated because here he plays to. I mean, okay, with Nepo that was extreme. I mean, he was just playing h4 and knight a4 and knight takes b2, as if he had the whole life to regroup and everything, and he just got mated. So it was clear that something is missing to him. And also in other games he had an advantage, but again he was just moving the pieces. Something is missing. I mean,
I
but
have
okay,
a feel that all Nepo opponents play well below their level of play, even if it's a mediocre level to begin with. For all candidate tournaments, I think their worst games, for some reason, were against Nepo. That's what I feel. That I looked a couple of times at all his games, once, twice, 3 times. I feel that was their level of play was about not very high to start with, but against Nepo, it would go like that, and that will come back to the same mediocre.
but okay, people do the same against Carlsen, and people used to do the same against other champions from the past. So
But Carlsen is a champion. I understand that.
no. But I mean, okay, this can be a sign of strength if the opponent play badly against you. It means that I mean, strong can mean many things.
You know what it reminds me? Remember Fischer in his heydays before his match with Spassky? He was playing a lot of tournaments, for example, in Yugoslavia. and he was cleaning up all these players, especially Yugoslavian players, like almost like 15-0, for example. Why?
Mhm.
They were not such bad players, but they could play, for example, against Geller and against somebody there. They would be very happy with a draw and so on. Against Fischer, no, draw is not good enough. They would play the absolutely very aggressive, very dubious variation sometimes, just trying to beat Fischer. And of course, it never
Mhm.
worked, and they were losing all the games against him. It seems to me that all these players in this candidates tournament, they care about only one thing: somehow beat Nepo. And not only they can't beat him, but they're just losing against him. So this is exactly the same thing. Because look at today. What Nepo played today games again? Game against Rapport, right?
Mm.
Yeah, okay. It was I don't know which the novelty was, but okay, it was clear that at some point the report was out of book, and it was
But
then.
Rapport played no, but this is a special, very unique variation that is not happening every day in a tournament. They both prepared it. They both knew the book inside out.
Uh-huh.
And just one, two moves out of the book, bam, he's lost. Now, Rapport, he has nothing to fight for in this tournament. So at least, okay, so make draw with a white. Okay, remember Queen E4. So if you play King G1, so it will be a
Yes.
draw by perpetual, right? No, Rapport is not going for a draw. He wants to beat Napa in inferior position. He can only lose or make a draw. The draw is already there. He has nothing to do to make a
Mhm.
draw. Just make up of
Mhm.
moves back and forth. No,
Yeah, no,
play.
these and the game with Ding are very okay. These are hints that yes, the opponents play much below their level against Nepo. But there is also this. They accuse the Fischer of hypnotizing the opponents, but then others say, but Fischer doesn't even look at you during the game. And Tal, Benko played with sunglasses because he was afraid of being hypnotized. Okay, he lost anyway. So there is this kind of energy. I mean, it's not cheating, it's not hypnotizing. There is this dialogue which we don't see over the board. It's the energetic thing, the telepathic thing. If
So
the
you
guy
think
is
that Napa telepied Rapport to continue to play and instead of
no, but I mean, okay, there can be something provocative. I don't know. There can be something in. You don't know. I mean, each player is emanating some sort of energy. For many of them, it's some sort of something that does not really reach the opponent, let's say. But there are players who have this strong thing, and
Or weak thing.
or a
It's
weak thing. Yes,
also
yeah,
weak
yeah.
element.
It can. It depends on everybody. It depends on everyone. For instance, I have an example. Uh, I played with Ivanchuk several times, but this was before a blitz game. He didn't start it yet, and I felt that Ivanchuk was sitting like that, and I felt that he was kind of pushing me back. I said, okay, but I'm doing sports. I was in very good shape. I imagined my contour. I said, okay, I push him back. I don't want him here. And you know what happened? This was mental. I didn't swear him. No, it was just what happened the next second? He he just went back. I mean, he just leaned on his chair. So it was. I didn't do it like no. I just said no. I can stand this pressure. And then he went back. I mean, no, there are these. Of course, he beat me in the game. He beat me in the blitz game, but it's just about this kind of energies that can be changed
In
sometimes.
special army, learn that stuff, and it's
Uh-huh.
really useful. It's not just
Mhm. No,
some stupid stuff. It's working. It's just working.
no, it's not that
normal
it's
stuff.
not that rapport constantly transmitted telepathically to rapport to go on, not to take a draw. No, it was something in his emotional, state of mind. Because of course, Nepo also has his emotions, maybe more than others, and something that induced. I know this happens sometimes to me. I mean, I have this situation, and then something in my opponent irritates me without, I cannot say what. He's not doing anything incorrect, but something irritates me, and then I don't take that unknown variation, gets to a draw, and then I say no, I play, and 2 moves later I'm lost. So no, and I know the feeling. I know the feeling. So I didn't think about that, but in 2 games for sure, Rapport and Dink was an extreme case. I mean, he really played like
all 4 of them, all 4 who lost their games, and Kramnik analyzed one of them against, I believe, Duda.
The game against Duda I know very well because I just annotated it for a German magazine.
Okay.
So no, first of all, Kramnik is right that King H2 is a very poor move. Because the white is better there. King H1 is offers white a very big advantage. And you know what? Can I share the screen?
Yes, please.
Let me 1 moment to search for that game. It's also strange. Just a moment. I have to find it. Okay. We have it here. Okay, and now share screen. Where do I do that? Share screen. Share screen. But where is? Okay. Oh. Where is my? Okay, this should be it. Okay. Do you see the game now?
No. Yes, I think so. Yes.
Now.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so he plays this variation. Of course, the Reti with the pawn on d4, some Katana hybrid is not considered to be so dangerous, but there are Svane and Grandelius play this a lot with white in Blitz. Tournament, okay. He got this small surprise. And actually, it's probably black has to play knight e4 and just give up a pawn. So from theoretical point of view, this was a good experiment because Duda fought for 20 minutes and he took here when he's slightly worse. Okay, rook c1, queen e7, and now king h2, which is, of course, it's natural, but natural from one point of view because okay, you played h3, you won this square.
Yeah.
But okay, there is this diagonal, no? So it's strange because he said that with Duda for the first time in the tournament, he got the position he had analyzed. And the strange thing is that there was a game played at a normal time rate, Svitel Karyakin, which went the same way, King H2. Actually, what is the difference with King G1? Because now if they play the same, now if H6, then this is just crushing because Queen takes E5 does not come with check.
Right.
And he just loses the bishop. He cannot keep the bishop defended. Yeah, he went here and yes, Karyakin played F5. And after Queen B3, the game was drawn, but he should have problems. Now the threat is to take on D5 because this bishop is hanging. So rook here, took. This nice sacrifice, E4, and white can retrieve the exchange whenever he wants with bishop B4. But okay, this is already an advantage for white. Right. So Nepo should have known this game if he had prepared this line. I mean, you look at knight takes e5, and there are not so many games with knight takes e5. So so why did he play king h2? I mean, didn't he notice? Maybe he just prepared like this. Maybe he takes it easily. No, but to Nepo's merit, what did I say about maintaining the pressure? Okay, here white doesn't have an advantage. No, because if he goes f5 and bishop f4, then bishop b6, and with a king on h2, there is always one tempo. Okay, that doesn't make sense to analyze too much. But Nepo thought for half an hour, and he understood that f5 just helps black to answer with move to move, to parry the threats. And he found how to maintain the pressure. He played queen e1 to bring the queen to g3.
Absolutely right.
So this was okay. This was not bad either. And now another very important move, h4, because it appears that he doesn't want to prepare f5. He wants to go g5. And in principle, now he should have played bishop d4. Because if g5, then h5, and f5 is not possible. And if so, then he can already... no, Kramnik also said something like this. I analyzed the game before him. But okay, h4. And rook a8 is already a bit dubious, in fact, because it doesn't do anything. I mean, okay, it's like if they taught you at the Pioneers Palace that you should complete the development, and you do it.
Maybe it would be more useful instead of rook d8 to play a bishop to b6 and bishop c7.
Maybe even that, but bishop d4 is probably the simplest because it attacks here, and it also creates this threat.
On an e5, yeah.
It's more direct, I think. No. Okay, rook d8, g5. Okay, you played rook d8 because they taught you to complete the development. Okay, yes, but now taking on g5, I mean...
Kramnik said that this is a suicidal move. That even weak candidate master wouldn't be playing move like this because it opens completely h5, h-file for white, and it's just a matter of time when...
then you are already desperate with black. After opening the g-file, you have to find something not to get mated. No, okay, here probably white maintains some pressure, but of course it's a game. I think that white stands a bit better. I mean, but yes, exchanging is just awful.
That's the name. It's the end of the game basically. Now the H file is open and it's only white who can use it.
Yeah, okay. He played this, which is the only chance. Yeah, it was funny. Judith Polgar immediately suggested such a variation to hide with the king to g6, but actually, no. It's okay. First of all, you can play first queen h4, but actually this doesn't really work because here you get mated anyway. You want to go bishop f3, bishop h5, and if so, then rook f1. And instead, then okay, there is f5 in the picture. So, okay, this just as a curiosity. Yeah, okay. Then you have to do something desperate with, and now, okay, queen h4 also wins more or less. Bishop e4 is the only chance. Takes here the only chance he has to fight hard for his counterplay. Queen takes b2, but even this is very sad. I mean, here and rook f6. Even this is very sad. But what Nepo played was better. Okay, it doesn't matter so much. Duda still had chances, but yeah, but you know, Nepo plays just like this. I mean, e6 was natural, but you know.
Rook c3 was very strong.
Yeah, I mean, well, you cannot see it if you don't think for a while, you know, because it just cuts the queen's communication with the kings. And of course, it's a deep move of, I mean, a strong attacking player could find it, because if d4, then you can go e6, and then now there is no defense against this. F takes e6, the rook doesn't matter, and you still want to go there. Here, then d6, and if so, now the queen is not in the business. That's that's the point. So yeah, that's important, that the longer diagonal. But okay, what he did was let's say natural. But okay, after that, it's not very clear that it's winning. Only that Duda didn't play. So,
and the Kramnik says that he should have taken pawn on h7.
But he can do that later, I don't think. But
he would lose very important tempo. And pawn on h7 in some variation actually kills.
Yeah, but I don't think that this position is so clearly lost. I think it's. I mean, if you eliminate all the pieces on board, I mean all these pieces, and this pawn, and it was the black's turn to move with g5 and king to f6. He holds a draw. So with pieces on board, it's not so dangerous actually. The blacking. No, okay. This already, you understand, is not the conceptual phase. It's the phase when you don't have so much time. But I mean, I don't want to be very critical about it. And also, rook c3 is not such a move that.
It's not easy move to find.
You have to be an attacking player. I mean, Tal would find it.
Tal could find it.
No, I mean, okay, you have to be that kind of player. But in principle, Nepo didn't play badly. But it's strange that my suspicion is that. Okay, let me stop sharing the screen. Yes, maybe I will do it later again.
Okay.
No, but maybe he just, he knew that 5 rounds in a row he didn't get the position he was analyzing. So he said, okay, why? Maybe he just goes for a walk. He doesn't seem the guy who practices sports, but okay, maybe he listens to music, he reads, whatever. So maybe he prepared a bit. Okay, he said maybe he'll enter here, so we'll see. So maybe he didn't know that game. Maybe he didn't notice the improvement with King H1. So maybe he takes it easy, and okay, he's more fresh than others, fresher than others, and then he can, well, he can get good results.
You
No,
see, overall,
I'm delighted with his moves Queen E1 and H4 because
mhm.
I mean he doesn't do anything concrete yet. I mean let's still play. I mean okay, let my opponent also find a move, a plan. And I mean if you go F5, then you force him to calculate, and then he'll find it because okay, players
Well,
calculate.
if he's facing opponents who are playing 300-400 points below their usual strength, what they would demonstrate against other participants, but in a games against him the level drops 300-400 points, then I'm not surprised that he's winning tournament. And the only thing is that most likely Carlson will refuse to play much against Nepo, and Nepo will play much against Caruana most likely. And by the way, FIDE now ruled that before the last round of the candidates, Carlson must announce whether he will play match for World Championship or not. And if he will not declare, then he's out.
No, but come on, you understand that this is not serious. What I mean,
I hope so.
no, what Carlson said or what he was told to say for advertising reasons. Of course, it cannot be serious. I mean,
But FIDE made this ultimatum to Carlson.
or no, well, I mean, there is a yeah. Why not? I mean, Karpov Korchnoi, the 74 match. They played 24 games, especially because they were not sure whether Fischer would play or not. So this would not be something unusual if they
Yeah,
are.
but you see, at that time it was no danger. If Fischer will play, then he will play match with Karpov. Fischer refused to play, so the Karpov announced to be a champion. It would be dubious for them to play another match with Korchnoi. But 24
No. But this is what because okay, the candidates matches they were shorter. I mean, okay, about the same length as the World Championship now. So 10
Yeah,
to
the
12.
final match was exactly 24 games.
Yeah, but that was the only case. That was the only case in history when the
That
candidates
was the
final.
rules at the time. The rules of
No,
the
no,
time.
no, 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 no. But it was the only candidates final in the history which lasted 24 games. You remember?
There were not. No, actually, the system of matches was around for like quite a few
No,
years.
no.
That's the only. You're right. That's the only time when the candidates
And
match
and
was 24.
the second okay because until 72 there were only 10 games I believe, no, 10 games including the no maybe Fischer Petrosian the final maybe it was 12 games maybe. Yes, because Fischer won by 6.5 to 2.5.
That's right. So it
It
was.
was 12 games. And then Korchnoi Spassky, the 77 final, was scheduled for 20 games.
That's right.
Korchnoi won 10.5 to 7.5. That was the second longest match. But usually the final would be 14, I believe, maximum. So I think they
16 maybe. I don't remember.
maybe there was something with 16, maybe.
Maybe.
I cannot. But 24, this was the only case. This was the only case
Yeah,
when.
but this time, because there is no matches, there is a tournament. So it will be obviously that first place will be played against second place, right?
Yeah, of course the players should know because okay, if one of them is half a point behind, he may be happy with a draw nevertheless. I mean, if he ensures the second place. Yeah, but
Well, it will be quite interesting to see the second round.
no, but of course, okay, if Carlson was serious when he said that, then it's his own problem. But at least he announced in time, and now he will confirm. But if Carlsen was just saying something to be interesting, to add some likes to his post, then I think it's not so correct because this is kind of putting pressure on Firuja, putting some pressure on the other players, different types of pressures. And now he creates this situation that FIDE has to ask him, okay, were you serious about it or not? So
So FIDE did exactly that. Not only that, they specified a time frame between which Carlson has to respond. It's not like an open question. Would you like to play or not? Would you like to confirm your participation by the last round of the candidate tournament? Because there will be a ceremony. Whoever will take first place, and he will be a challenger to the world championship. But there is no world champion. So he's a challenger of what? So if there will be no world champion, so he's challenger, and second place will be a challenger. So it will be a match put together, and that's it.
No, I remember that in the past, for instance, after Petrosian won the first match with Spassky, he defended his title.
Sorry.
He said something like, I would not be surprised if after 3 years the final match will take place between the same players.
Okay.
But of course, there is something, just an opinion, that he thinks that Spassky is very strong, and he might. I mean, nothing like, I will play only if Spassky wins again or whatever. I mean, no, but okay, this is politics. Of course, chess needs also some propaganda, and maybe Carlsen did right by saying these things because it's more publicity for chess.
Absolutely, I
No,
agree.
if you are serious, then okay, what can I say? It's his problem. I cannot say confirm or criticize him. I mean, okay, it's his own. I mean, he knows himself whether he's tired of all these years of being number one. I mean, okay, that's a personal decision. I cannot.
I think sooner or later, it's again the question will arise: is the world championship is a property of FIDE or of the world champion? That will come into play, and I think sooner than later.
Well, it used to be the property of the world champion until Botvinnik. Then it became FIDE's property.
What did FIDE buy it from world champion? How FIDE?
Well, Alekhine died. Alekhine was killed, and he was also everybody's enemy. So they didn't care about him.
So FIDE took that property by default. There was nobody else to argue about that, and the FIDE just got it by default.
Well, the Dutchman wanted to take it for Oewe. The Americans were also saying, well, we have Reshevsky, fine. The Soviets said, but okay, Botvinnik had some negotiations with Alekhine for a match, so there were many interests. But then they made after Alekhine's death, they made a tournament in Groningen, just to see how the boys are playing after the war.
You see, Mikhail, in my opinion, the proper way, when Alekhine passed away, and there was only player who won match against Alekhine and who was, at least for 2 years, world champion, was Max Ewe. So Max Ewe, by default, automatically should have retained the title of world champion and then have a challenger. It doesn't matter, Botvinnik or Reshevsky or whomever else. That should have been a problem. But what's happened is that with the help of Botvinnik and other Soviet players, FIDE became an owner of something that never belonged to it. It just picked up something what nobody guarded and say, okay, now it's mine. Now I will tell who is going to be the world champion and challenger and how they're going to do it.
But
system,
this is still not such a bad thing because, okay, we have the example of Kasparov, who after playing 5 times with Karpov somehow got tired of everything. And he, in the search for even more money, he created his own federation, his own title.
Yeah.
And okay, he managed to organize one reasonable, credible cycle.
Yeah.
And he beat Anand. But then he couldn't organize the second one. And he did that thing with Kramnik and Shirov. Okay, everybody knows. Which is somehow not really, kosher. So. I mean, the world champions, when they own the title, Kasparov tried to do something, but of course he tried for himself first of all. But he raised some money, at least for one cycle. He managed to. But all the world champions before the Second War, they would accept a challenge from anybody. And I said, okay, you just put up this prize fund. So it was okay. Starting with Capablanca, it was $10,000 golden dollars.
Yeah.
Which was, I don't know, I think it was similar to 1 million now, or something like that. So yeah, but okay, it meant that in order to become a challenger, you also had to know how to talk with the sponsors. I mean, this is why Alekhine was so remarkable, because he prepared for the match whole year, and he was also looking for sponsors. He played a training match with Öve, for instance, that same year before the match with Capablanca. And then the score was level. Then he had to leave for 1 week before the last game. They postponed the last game because he had to leave to South America to do some more negotiations with the sponsors. Then he came and he won the last game after being lost to Eve. So you understand? I mean, this is not right. I mean, the world champion is the owner, and I have to look for sponsors. Maybe I'm good at that. But maybe I'm not. Okay, Rubinstein, for instance, was not good at that. Rubinstein was...
No. He was probably the weakest of the sponsors.
Yeah, he was too mild, too yeah, I mean, okay, too soft, too brilliant chess player. At least until the first war, but even after that, he has his good moments. But somehow you understand the difference. How can I get to a match with Lasker? I mean, you need the money.
What I feel now is I generally agree with everything what you just presented. It's just the situation today is very different. That there was never so dominant chess player, with maybe exception of Kasparov, as a Carlsen is, and his talent is multidimensional. It's serious games like tournament games, it's rapid games, it's blitz games, it's all disciplines, and there is no doubt in anybody's mind that he will defeat whoever it might be challenger in next match. He will defeat it, whether if Caruana, probably there will be 12 draws or 14 draws or 16 draws, and then he will defeat him in rapid games or blitz games or so on. So there is, I don't know.
There is one thing that could defeat Carlsen.
What?
His own, what? Let's say
Overconfidence.
No. On the contrary, his own weaknesses or tiredness of being number one. I mean, with Caruana, actually, he was on the edge. I mean, he didn't play for a winning positions.
Do you believe that Caruana showed a higher level of play than Karyakin, for example?
Well, against Karyakin, Carlsen was in bad form, bad shape, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because from the first 4 games, he should have won 2. I mean, just like this, and he didn't.
That's right.
Which was not typical for him. I mean, he would win such positions normally, and then he somehow lost confidence. No, I think that against Karyakin, no, Karyakin is a very good practical player, in chess and in life, as we see.
Yeah.
So,
no,
Karyakin doesn't. Yeah, no, actually, I wanted to say that Karyakin isn't creating anything, and I remember this video with Korchnoi. His name is Karpov, which means carp, fish, and he is like a fish. He doesn't create anything. He's cold, well, like a fish. No, I mean, okay, but Karyakin, I mean, you don't really see that he has a high concept. I mean, okay, there are players like Ding, for instance, when he was in good shape, or also Nepo. You can notice some things. I mean, what they are doing to create something. But Karyakin, okay, he's somehow speculative, but he knows how to take his chances. He's a fighter. And when he gets something good, he uses it. I mean, then he goes.
Yeah. So he's good at using chances.
Yeah, no, I mean, okay, he does. Every player has some cards in his hand, and he has to use them. And I believe that Carlsen was playing below his level in that match,
Hmm.
and he was he was on the edge to lose.
Yeah.
With Karyakin, I think they were. I mean it's so much tension. I mean, okay, they're probably so much afraid of losing. I mean, it's still it's a short match. First of all, 12 games.
Yeah, this time they're going to play what, 14 or 16.
14. Yeah, but okay, in the old candidates matches, there are many matches at 10 games.
Hmm.
And you could see several. I mean, okay, you could see that it's 4-2 or whatever, the decisive games. So 4-3, I mean, but yeah, okay. No, somebody explained me a psychological situation which can occur in all kind of situations in normal life, not in chess. I mean, for instance, yes, there is a situation which is bad for all the participants. Let's say it's a cross, and there are four cars. There is no priority, and they're all like this, and none of them can pass because they are somehow blocked. None of them has priority. If one of them would go one step behind, then they would all get on their ways after half a minute. But nobody wants to do that, and they stay there and look at each other. So um, it's this thing with the computer preparation. Of course, everybody knows that the others would spend so many hours on the computer, and they said, "No, I cannot do without that. So I have to do it." And then you are just, so. I mean, your mind is so frozen into these computer patterns 000. It's this depressive. So maybe I come back to my supposition that maybe Nepo takes it relaxed way with the preparation. I mean, if he played King H2 without understanding that he repeats the slight mistake of Zvidler, it means that he just look a bit like this. Okay, I have this idea. Let's play if he gets there. So I mean, if he wins this tournament, it might be because he takes it like this more. He makes that step. It looks like a step behind. I mean, you don't prepare for 5 hours with a computer before every game. You understand? Because if you do that, then you get into this and you cannot get out of the drawing of magic. I mean, even when the position is winning, you cannot win it because you have this 000 in your mind. So I think it's not the player's fault, but it's somehow the atmosphere. And of course, Karyakin was something different. Karyakin is not that kind of guy, and we had two decisive games at least in out of 12.
Bravo.
And
Bravo.
Karyakin,
Brilliant.
well, I mean, you understand.
I think Nepo probably, if anything remarkable about his play, maybe he is good at provoking his opponents by playing such innocent opening like Petrov's defense. He's provoking them somehow to play for a win, and this is not an opening which easily leads white to play for a win, so they have to do something extraordinary. And maybe just a hypnotic effect that instead of making a draw with white pieces, your situation in a tournament is so insignificant. I mean, you will be lucky to get 50% at the end of the day. And now one extra draw, especially against leader, moves you a little bit closer to your desirable 50% score.
Oh,
No, no, he
by
was
the way,
not playing for a win in the
by the way,
worst position.
yes. Talking about the Petrov. Okay, there was the game Nakamura Nepo. Yes, I think.
Yeah.
So the game Nakamura Nepo, and I don't know what Nepo did wrong, but somehow the white pawn started to advance, and the black queen was very exposed,
Hmm.
and you can feel that the position is winning for white. You can feel that, and there was a win, not something out of from the outer space. No, there was a relatively okay. There was some winning maneuver, and Nakamura didn't find it. Why? Because he knew that Petrov is drawish. That when you meet a Petrov, okay, you simulate to try something, and eventually your very slight advantage will peter out into a draw. So it's again this because it's this 000. No, that was already not a 000 position. But all of us we have this. I include myself. Well, I haven't been playing for a long time actually, but in principle, I know the feeling. I mean,
I don't know the feeling.
I'm
I have
human,
no
and
preparation.
nothing human is strange to me. Yes, so unknown to me. So yeah, I mean, okay, they have this break. I mean, okay, you get him. Of course, it's winning. I mean, I know that Karpov beat Portish twice in the Russian in the Petrov defense. Russian, okay.
Yes.
One of them was such a crash as this should have been Nakamura against. Yeah, but Karpov, of course, didn't have this thing that everything is a draw. No, come on, let's play. But of course, yeah,
Could be a draw, but not in
sorry?
this. It could be a draw, but not in this game.
Yes, yes, yes.
Mikhail, I'm looking forward to watch the second round of this candidates. I'm pretty sure you and Maria will do the
Yes.
same, and we'll continue our conversation next Saturday, and we'll see now answer to our question: is Nepo going to be a winner? We'll see that very soon. With that, I would like to thank you so much for participation in our program,
Thank you.
Thank
and
you.
have a great week, and hope to see you next Saturday. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.